I'm over at my buddy's house. He has a rocking chair he's going to have me restore, but he hadn't taken it out of the attic yet. So I said, well, what else you got for me? And I said, how about me fixing these doors to his shed? He said, I don't care. So it's the door is a little bit broken. Hinges aren't very good. So let's take these doors down and take them over to the shop and see if we can fix them. Good morning and welcome to another Memphis Monday 228, the 20th week of our 5th year. I was talking to my buddy. I was supposed to be restoring a rocking chair he has up in his attic, and I went over there to get it, and he said he hadn't got it down yet. I said, well, that's fine and good, but I need a project. So I said, well, I'll just fix those shop doors over there for you. And he said, okay, if you want to. So that's what we're going to do today. Surely there'll be some takeaways. If not, we'll invent some. But we're not going to get any inventing done unless we do what? That's right. We need to knock off that chit chat and get to work. Here are the two doors. This one here is not as badly damaged as that one over there. I haven't really done anything with them yet. I think what I'm going to do is take those hinges off first and then flip the thing over. I originally thought I'd be replacing these hinges, but I don't think I am. They've done amazingly well considering how they were installed. I'll show you how they were installed in just a second. I think you can see part of the problem. Another problem we've got to fix is, see how this plywood is buckled up here? They put this whole thing together with screws. Well, if they used enough screws, that would probably have been all right, but this plywood getting wet and everything, wherever there's not a screw, the plywood's buckled up. And here you can see that the framework's put together with these 2x4s, but then just held together in the joints with a couple of deck screws. We've got to fix that. And here's one of the big failures. This is one of the frame pieces. You can see it just completely pulled out. The screws are still here. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like there was 6 screws holding this thing in. And now the plywood is damaged. But once it started letting go, there wasn't nothing stopping it. So we need to fix that. Now another thing you may notice is that there's no diagonal brace here. And by rights you don't need one on a hollow core door because the plywood will brace it. But in this case, I think we need one because while the door is not racking, it is twisting. There is some yaw in it. I'll show you what I mean. So without the cross brace, the cross brace is put there to stop the door from sagging. But what's happening on this door is the whole thing is flexing, you know, like this. It's not racking, it's twisting. So I think we need that cross brace in there to solve that. This one I'm going to start out with some deck nails and nail the frames together. I'm going to go ahead and go around and nail this frame back together. I'm using 3-inch galvanized ring shank nails. They're rated for exterior use on pressure treated wood. Okay, and now I switched over to 2-inch ring shank nails. They're also galvanized and rated for exterior use with treated wood. And I'm going to go along and reinforce a nail between the screws. Another funny sin, this whole lock and latch mechanism right here is all held to the door with deck screws through this piece of wood right here. And that would be all real nice and groovy. Those are nice screws, but they're not going into anything. They're just going into this 1/2-inch treated plywood. So we need to put some bolts in there holding that piece of wood in. I just knocked some holes through this backer board here, and we'll just knock these carriage bolts through. And I'll just tighten these things up by hand. That'd be easier than going looking for a socket. I need a deep well socket to get to them. Too hard. What I'm doing here is putting in that diagonal brace. Putting a little piece of wood down here. So up there at the top, I got it, the angle's already cut, and I got it tucked up in that corner. And down here at this end, down at the bottom, I will cut it a little bit fat and then kind of walk it in. Now here on my saw, turn the laser on. It looks like the angle's about right. Well, I want it tight. It looks like that's what I got. Now I'm tying this diagonal brace in with 3-inch ring shank nails. These are a couple of blocks I put in. Remember showing you where those screws just came through the 1/2-inch plywood, and they were just flapping in the breeze. Well, I put this treated 2x4s in there. I've already toe-nailed them in. Now I'm going to flip it over and put some screws to secure this wood to the plywood. Remember I was telling you the door wasn't sagging, but it was warping every other way. Here's a good example. See the gap? I put my hand underneath this thing. I need to mark this thing on the other side and nail it all the way across here. That'll keep the thing from flopping around like that. What I'm doing here is snapping that diagonal. It's a pretty small target, so I'm gonna make sure I get it right. Now I'll go back to my 2-inch nails. See if I can't nail that diagonal into the plywood. Before we put the hinges back on, I'm going to sand it up a little bit, pretty good, and put some water seal on it. I'm going to reuse the old hinges and the old screws. They didn't fail. What failed was the attachment points. I did the other one just like I did the first one. So I didn't film it. I'm finishing up the putting the hinges on. No big deal because I used the same screw holes and even the same screws, but I ran out of screws, so let's test drive it a minute here. Okay, let's get back and take a look at it. Well, here's the doors we fixed. Memphis Monday 228. I sanded them down a little bit and put some water seal on them. Here you can see the improvements we made. We put that diagonal bar in there. That one right there is not angled right. It's supposed to come from that corner down there, but it didn't matter. I didn't put it in to keep it from sagging anyway. I put it in there to keep the plywood from flopping around. Hinges we attach to some blocks of wood. Over here, same thing with the diagonal blocks of wood. We re-nailed everything. We fixed that latch and hasp thing where they just had it secured with screws. I remember why I did this. I'd have damaged that 2x4 damaged down there, and so I couldn't put it in that corner. That was the one that had the missing board. Okay, when my buddy comes home, he'll find his doors fixed. Maybe he'll be pleased. Well, that does it for Memphis Monday 2/28, the 20th video of year 5. Today we repaired a couple of shop doors from a neighbor. Our goal was to figure out what was wrong with them and then try to fix them for nothing. We reused most of the wood. We added a couple of 2x4s, added some nails. I think the biggest problem, the reason they failed, I don't think he put the thing together with screws. I don't think he put enough screws in it. But anyway, I think we had some takeaways, and I love these kind of projects. They may not make very good videos, but I just love that kind of stuff. But anyway, like and favorite and share and Facebook and tweet and peek and poke and all the stuff you do on the internet. But most important, make sure you're back here next week for another exciting Memphis Monday. Thanks for playing along.